You believe there's strong evidence that there could have been?
Yes.
So civilization then, in your definition of the word, how do you define that? A group of people gathering and working together?
Fundamentally, it involves the willing organization or the unwilling organization of labor. If you look at a site like Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, we have it on our timeline here somewhere. It's 11,600 years old. This is really an extraordinary site. It's a very sophisticated site. It's very large. It consists of large T-shaped megaliths that can weigh up to 20 tons. There are precise astronomical alignments in it. This was not done by 2 or 3 people working together. That's the Göbekli Tepe today, covered by a modern canopy to keep, fair enough, to keep the weather off it, because it was previously deliberately buried by its builders. So this was a major project. And interestingly, the people who built Göbekli Tepe, at the time Göbekli Tepe began, there was no agriculture happening there. They were all hunter-gatherers. Nevertheless, they did something that archaeologists used to say hunter-gatherers couldn't do. They organized themselves. They made a huge project, they implemented it, and they delivered it, and Göbekli Tepe is not alone. It's one of dozens of sites like that all over Anatolia in Turkey. This was a highly organized, sophisticated hunter-gatherer civilization that was involved in making this place.
I'm a little bit confused. So if the Ice Age ended 11,700 years ago,
yeah,
and Göbekli Tepe is 11,600 years ago, that means there's a 100-year gap between the end of the Ice Age and something as sophisticated as Göbekli Tepe.
Not exactly, no? because dates in this frame, they're not spot-on accurate dates. Some will say the Ice Age ended 11,600. Some will say it ended 11,700 years ago. But the fact is that in this window, the world was warming up again. It was getting better. And that's when this project was created. And the mystery for archaeologists anyway, is that it was hunter-gatherers. And archaeologists are now having to come to terms with that. You see, the idea was you had to have an agricultural community first in order to create projects like this, because that allows people to become specialists. If you generate a food surplus that you can rely on, then you can take people with certain skills and say, focus on that, become an astronomer, become an architect, become an engineer. We'll support you in doing that. That was the idea, and that was why it was felt that something like Göbekli Tepe couldn't be built until about 6,000 years ago, when there was widespread agriculture. But that turned out not to be true. It was built by hunter-gatherers, but within 1,000 years of it being built, agriculture becomes present in that whole area. Origins of agriculture are definitely earlier than we've been taught.